recipe for a blood orange and burrata salad. And when we were making this, it came to me that this is kind of like a winter panzanella salad. Panzanella salad in the summer usually has tomatoes, but we've got citrus now, and I'm fully aware that I'm never gonna get a ripe summer tomato again until like July, which is really sad. But in the meantime, we have things like blood oranges. So this is a great dish for a party. It pairs beautifully with the toasted bread you're gonna get. We have one with kalamata olives, and it is just the perfect pairing along with the honey and the coriander that I will talk about through this walkthrough of this recipe. The other thing I want to mention is that blood oranges are a great source of vitamin C, so if you are starting to get sick, they always say take vitamin C, but instead of taking those gross little tablets you can buy at the store, why not just make this instead? So if you want to see how to make this recipe, just keep watching. So luckily, this recipe does not take a lot of time at all. It's more a matter of making sure all of your ingredients are ready to go so you can start compiling. The first thing I started doing was cubing these little rolls, which are studded with kalamata olives, which are the perfect little bit of saltiness in every bite. So I just went ahead and cubed these throughout, and I put them on a baking sheet and I threw them in the oven just to lightly crisp them. One thing to think about as you are deciding how long to keep these in the oven and how toasted they should get is how long you're going to keep this out before you serve it. I kind of over toasted these a little bit if I was going to serve them at a party and have it out with the oranges, just because toasting them keeps the crispy bread crispy as long as you need it to. Next step is going to be mincing the garlic so you can saute it with olive oil later for a step. I also want to mention that this knife is a kiwi knife. I'm going to talk about this in my November favorites, but it is absolutely mind-blowingly wonderful. Next is slicing the oranges. These are blood oranges, which are absolutely gorgeous, and they have this ruby red tone inside. Now, the outside of these can look tricky like normal oranges, so make sure you're reading the label when you're shopping for these at the grocery store. In terms of slicing them, I cut them in half and then I slice off individually the peel around it to get these beautiful rings that look so good laid out on a platter. So just one more time so you guys can see it. Take the cut side of the orange and put it face down on the cutting board, and then in downward strokes, turn and go around until the entire peel and pith have been removed. At this point, we have everything sliced and ready to go, so I picked a kind of deep but large bowl, and I started layering the slices of blood orange and then the chunks of toasted bread throughout. And now my absolute favorite part is putting the ball of burrata in the center. Now, if you're not familiar with burrata, it's basically like a mozzarella type cheese that is filled with cream, and it is ooey and gooey and wonderful when you cut into it. So now that I have it in the dish, I'm just going to go ahead and continue building to make sure it's the right proportion of blood orange and toast, and then I'm going to add a few extra spices. So first up is that olive oil and garlic that we sauteed earlier, just so it's not a big chunk of raw garlic that hits you. So I just drizzled it all over, and then I am now topping it with Manuka honey. So this honey is from a brand called Spoon, and it is hands down the best honey I have ever had. After the honey, this is going to get a little bit of coriander, some sea salt, and then I am tearing some fresh basil over the top. Now you could slice your basil, but honestly I was lazy and I didn't want to get out the cutting board again. So this works just as good, and you get the benefit of this amazing smell. Now, not to be on my high horse about this, but this may be one of my absolute favorite recipes we have ever made. So go over to the blog, get the full recipe, and let me know what you guys think.